Kids who were raised by their siblings. How did it turn out? I was 8 when our parents got arrested for running drugs. My sister Vesper was only 14, but she became everything to me overnight. The social worker said we could stay together if Vesper could prove responsibility. Vesper lied about her age, got a job at a diner, and somehow convinced our landlord she was 18. Every school morning she'd make me breakfast and pack my lunch, but I noticed she never ate anything herself. When I asked why, she'd say, "I eat at work, dummy. Free food." One day I got sick and came home early. Vesper was in the kitchen eating plain crackers and drinking water. That's when I realized she'd been giving me all the real food. When kids at school asked about my parents, Vesper coached me to say they worked overseas. At parent-teacher conferences, she'd show up in oversized clothes and fake glasses, pretending to be our older cousin. Vesper never complained, but I'd hear her crying in the bathroom at night. She was just a kid too, but she carried everything alone. 3 months later, our landlord found out Vesper wasn't really 18. He threatened to evict us unless Vesper paid him extra under the table. She started working double shifts just to keep our apartment. That winter, I caught Vesper stealing food from the grocery store. When I confronted her, she made me promise not to tell anyone. "It's just temporary," she whispered. Around my 10th birthday, Vesper got really sick but couldn't afford a doctor. She worked her shift anyway and collapsed during the lunch rush. The manager fired her on the spot. For 2 weeks, we had no income. Vesper sold her guitar, the only thing she had left from before. She told me it was broken anyway, but I saw her staring at the empty corner where it used to sit. Vesper found another job at a gas station, working the night shift. She'd come home at 6 a.m., sleep for 2 hours, and wake up to get me ready for school. Her grades started slipping badly. When I was 12, our dad showed up at our door. He'd been released early and wanted to reconcile. Vesper didn't let him in, but he kept coming back, demanding money and threatening to call social services. One night, Dad broke in while Vesper was at work. He tore apart our apartment looking for cash. When Vesper came home and found the mess, she didn't call the police. She was too scared they'd separate us. Vesper started hiding money in my school backpack because Dad kept finding her other hiding spots. She made me promise to never tell him where it was, even if he threatened me. The breaking point came when I was 14. Dad cornered me after school and searched my backpack. When he found the money, he took every dollar we had saved for rent. That night, Vesper sat on our empty kitchen floor and said the words I'd been dreading. "Maybe you'd be better off in foster care." When I turned 16, I got caught shoplifting food. The store owner called Vesper instead of the police. She showed up still wearing her diner uniform, eyes red from exhaustion. That night, she broke down. "I can't do this anymore. I'm failing you." I made a decision. I dropped out and got a job to help with bills. Vesper fought me, but I was stubborn. 2 years later, Vesper graduated high school with perfect grades and got into nursing school on a full scholarship. She was finally getting her chance. The 3 days before Vesper was supposed to start college, Dad showed up again. This time, he wasn't alone. He'd brought 2 men who said Vesper owed them money for damages to Dad's reputation. Vesper looked at me with pure terror in her eyes. She was about to give up her scholarship to protect me. That's when I did something that changed everything. I called our original social worker and told her the truth about what we'd been hiding for 8 years. Last week, Vesper graduated as a registered nurse. As she walked across that stage, she looked right at me and mouthed, "Thank you." After the ceremony, she handed me an envelope. Inside was a check for community college tuition and a note that read, "Now it's your turn, little brother. You didn't just save my dreams. You taught me what real family means."